My definition of fulfillment, for me, it means to reach or exceed your potential with your integrity intact. So for those that don't know, for 9 years, I lived out of 4 suitcases, traveling 90 countries across 6 continents. It was the most exciting, crazy, exotic, wild, adventurous, and humbling journey I've ever taken. And before I started this journey, influencer marketing wasn't a thing. So before Brendan created an influencer brand and an influencer conference and summit, influencer marketing was kind of an idea and a concept before it became an industry. So when I was in my early 20s, I was like, okay, I've been on the internet at that point for 11 years. I was like right before the wave of Twitter and MySpace and Tumblr. And I knew I had this concept of digital storytelling. So I remember I was like, okay, I can build my brand showing people that I am influential, showing people that I can tell really good stories. And so I really like chased this idea of just like building a brand around myself. And I had my first 6-figure blog year in 2016. And I remember watching the 6-figure hit and I was like, okay, I was waiting for that moment. For me, 6 figures was like, that was like what it meant to be a millionaire. I remember just feeling like money was just so foreign to me, never grew up with much. So the idea of 6 figures was just like, wow, if I can reach that with my blog, I will be so rich. So when I reached it, I was like, why do I still feel empty? Why? What's missing? Where did I go wrong? Where is the glitter and the rainbows? Like I should be pissing gold. Like I had this whole different scenario of what a 6-figure blog and a 6-figure career would look like. And this was back in 2016. And because I didn't feel what I wanted to feel, I was like, this isn't it. And so I remember it took me actually probably 18 months, but in 2019, I remember I had 2 words of the year. And this is something that I highly recommend everybody should do. Create a word for every year. And this is just the word that drives your intention forward. So for me in 2019, my 2 words were surprise and service. I wanted to surprise myself with all the ways that I could serve others. I bent over backwards, creating programs and groups and cohorts and trips to aid people on their journeys and solve problems that I felt like I had the answers to. I all of a sudden was obsessed with curating community and making sure that no one felt alone on their journey, because I did. And I was like, how can I make sure no one experiences what I did? Feeling alone in your accomplishments, feeling alone in your pursuits, all of that. I was like, I have to find a way to just build community. And so prior to that, again, I was building my brand and building my business as like a selfish pursuit. It was exciting, but it wasn't fulfilling. Excitement is not fulfillment. Something was missing. So going into inner fulfillment first, the first thing that you should do to find inner fulfillment is lead a life with integrity. Because my goodness, when you lose your integrity, you have nothing left. And I remember there were moments on my journey where, oh, easy money here, or this person got away with doing that. Should I also do that because it built their brand fast? I always took the stairs. I see the elevator success, and as alluring as it can be, I was like, nope. Here is the emergency exit with the stairway, and that is where the lights are flashing. This is where I will go. Be comfortable taking the stairs when we live in a world of people looking for the elevator. The stairway to success will be longer, but it will be filled with so many more opportunities for you to develop your character and for you to build traits that are long-standing for the long run. Okay? Number 2, for finding inner fulfillment, commit to service-driven work. So like I mentioned, when I was starting off as a blogger and just as an influencer, everything was about me. How much money can I get paid to travel? How much money can I get paid to go here and to post this? It was a selfish pursuit. I didn't have any type of way of giving back to my community or helping them. So how can you add more service to your work, to your brand, and to your business? Commit to service-driven work. Number 3, do not compromise your values. If you are someone who does not, let's say, for example, drink. Don't work with an alcohol brand. It feels very obvious, but this is actually a true story. Alcohol brands pay a lot of money. I think the top 3 industries as an influencer, the alcohol brands pay a lot of money, cars pay a lot of money, and fashion pays a lot of money. So if you are someone, you built a sober brand, like that is a value. That is something that's your lifestyle. Like, don't compromise that just for quick money. And it takes away from feeling fulfilled when you're doing things just for the money. Okay, so do not compromise your values, no matter what they are. Number 4, love the skin you're in. It is such a fulfilling journey and such a fulfilling life when you are obsessed with yourself. No one can love you more than you. Not your kids, not your spouse, not your best friend, not even your parents. You have to love you more than anyone else in this world. And when you develop that self-love, that obsessive self-love, not to a narcissistic level, obsessive isn't a good word, but you are just like, man, I love my journey. I love my flaws. I love my mistakes. I love my growth. I love my commitment and dedication for more. Like, there is so much to love about yourself. It's not about saying the perfect and idealistic version of me looks like this, and since I'm not there yet, I can't fully love myself. No, love yourself at every step of the journey. Before a baby knows how to walk, do you say, I'm gonna hold on my love until you're at least taking your first step? It's like, you love a baby when it's crawling. You love a baby when it's pooping its pants. You love a baby at every step. So why can't you love yourself at every step too? I am so excited to talk about today reinventing your life, because I believe life is nothing more than a vicious cycle of reinvention of self. So instead of fear the change, see how you can catalyze the process. How can we catalyze the process of reinvention? So today, during my session, we're going to talk about reevaluation in order to reinvent yourself. Okay, so first things first, why do we crave reinvention so much? I personally believe it's because we get bored quickly. I get bored of life. Variety. Yes, Mark, that's my love language. I need variety in life. And I firmly believe that many of us have multiple lives that we're meant to live, but we've been stuck in the same one for the last 30 years, the last 40 years, living the same life, nothing to strive for, okay? So I'm going to talk about reinvention, and whatever reinvention means for you. That could be reinventing your career, reinventing your health, reinventing your relationship, both with your partner and yourself, reinventing your identity, reinventing your vision. Okay, so every year I go on a journey of reinventing my identity to help me refocus my life, because I think the most dangerous place to be is directionless. So when I reinvent my identity, I get direction of myself. So a lot of you might know, I traveled, over 80 countries, over 90 countries now, and every country gave me a new lens in which to see myself. So I'm going to quickly share my screen because you see this side by side. I took a train to Romania once, and I was assumed to be Serena Williams. Of course, you can see some similarities here. This was around 2018. And it's so funny. There were so many people that loved Serena, like, oh my God, Serena Williams, can I get your autograph? I love you. You're amazing. And as much as I wanted to own that, because come on, those are great compliments, I had to constantly deny that I was her through Montenegro, through Romania, through Croatia, through Bulgaria. I was traveling through Eastern Europe, and I was constantly mistaken as Serena Williams. And it was in that moment I was like, okay, I can deny being her, but I could be Serena adjacent. What does that mean? I want each of you to think of a role model in your life, someone that you embody their personality, maybe you might even look like, or someone you just admire. And I want you to think of being that person adjacent. So being Serena adjacent in those 3 months that I was in the Balkan countries, I learned to walk with more pride. I was like, people are going to assume I'm Serena anyways, so let me embody Serena adjacent. I walked with more pride. I spoke to more strangers, And I stayed out longer because it meant more people recognized who I was, how amazing my tennis career was. I learned to become Serena adjacent. So I reinvented myself through the identity of being someone else. And here's the thing that's going to really stick with you. You're not that person, of course. I don't want you to mimic being them, but their personality, their traits, what people love about them and what draws people to them. After you become Serena adjacent, again, create your character adjacent, I want you to like unpack, did I like how that felt? Because again, being Serena adjacent meant I walked with more pride. It meant I spoke to more strangers. It meant I stayed out longer because more people recognized who I was and, complimented me on my career. So did I like how that felt? Is this in alignment with my values? And then how does this, being Serena adjacent, translate into other areas? Because here's the truth, it is okay to get bored with yourself and your life. And if you need to create a character and be adjacent for a season or a moment or a month, that's okay. Because reinvention is just a matter of asking yourself, what are you most passionate about right now? And how can you start a movement around that? The first area to reevaluate in order to reinvent is your motivation. I want you to ask yourself these questions. What fuels me? Like, what inherently fuels me? What protects me? What makes me feel safe in my body? What makes me feel safe in my career? What makes me feel safe in my industry? And then what guides me? If you are trying to reinvent yourself, you have to reevaluate who you've been following, what's been inspiring you, what makes you feel safe and protected. A lot of times, whenever I look at my past, and we might be motivated by vanity metrics or monetary gain. And here's the thing, it's okay to be motivated by money. I think everyone, if you're a human, I think it's just in your blood. You're a little intrinsically motivated by money because money is the gateway to the freedom, to the success, to, other things in life. It's not money itself because that's just paper, but money leads to other things. So what is your motivation? When I'm reinventing myself, I look at what are the things that have been guiding me and how can I change that? What are the things that have been fueling me? Number one, again, we're family here, so we're gonna get honest. What fueled me in the past, maybe too much alcohol, maybe a little extra glasses of wine. You only needed one glow, but what fueled me is just maybe the bottle. But that can't be my future self. I'm trying to reinvent who I am. I'm trying to become a new person. So what fuels me now is water. Literally, as Brendan was doing his intro, I filled up a whole glass of water while I was doing the pre-meetup before we all let you in the room. I finished another glass and had to go get another one. I'm so fueled by water now. And what's great about this is it's a healthier option. Like it allows me to really just feel like I'm having a healthier habit. So that's the first one, okay? Motivation. Number two, your movement. How am I staying healthy? Questions to ask yourself about your movement. How am I staying healthy? Where can I improve? And who can hold me accountable? So in my past self, my previous 2022 version of Glow, how I was staying healthy, I wasn't. I was working out when I felt like it, and maybe when a dumbbell happened to be in my hand already. I had no workout routine. I had no regimen. It was kind of like if someone's forcing me to do it, I'll do it. But it wasn't something I actively pursued. And so joining a program that I did with our little group from Napa Valley, 75 Hard, definitely look into it. It's not for everyone, but the program is called 75 Hard for anyone interested. And that was super helpful because it allowed me to see all the areas of my health that I can improve. And then who can hold me accountable? You have to find people in your next level of yourself as you're reinventing. You have to find the person that's already there or on their way there. Because a lot of times you look to your left and right, those are the people that might have gotten you to that level, but they might stop at this level. And I've shared this analogy in the past, but I'll share it again for anyone new. But you might be walking onto an elevator and immediately you know that you're clicking the penthouse. You click the penthouse button, you're going straight to the top. Your friend gets on and they click floor 9. You might have an incredible conversation, an incredible chat, but when floor 9 comes, your friend has already decided that that's their limit. So your friend gets off at floor 9. There's no love lost. There's no hard feelings. There's no animosity. It's just that's where your friend decided they would stop. Now, they might feel bitter or envious that you're staying on the elevator, but you've already chosen that you're going to the penthouse, and that is okay. So you're going to have a lot of people in your life who you've already passed floor 9 and they've gotten off. And I need you to recognize that it's okay to stay on that elevator. It's okay to keep going. You had a mission and a vision that the penthouse is where you belong. And it's okay to chill at the penthouse floor, okay? The penthouse is where it's at. I'm not speaking from the penthouse, but because I'm still on my journey, So that's super important about accountability, understanding that the people that got you here won't always get you there, and that's okay. What I started doing in my network is saying, okay, how can I take all the most brilliant podcasters that I know, all the most brilliant musicians, all the most brilliant lawyers, all the most brilliant content creators, all the most brilliant videographers, and I inserted myself into like mini masterminds in all of those spaces. Because you know what's great? Because I can be a little bit of each of those, I have something to also contribute. And instead of just being like another, I guess, blogger in the blogging space, I became the content creator in the creative space, or the travel person in the videographer space. So the more hats and the more skills you develop, the more valuable you are, the more resourceful you become, and the more people want to be around you and hold you accountable to your next level. Okay? So second place to reevaluate is your movement. So we are talking about winning the year. Winning the year. How many of you all already feel like you're winning? And if you don't, can you think about the last time you won something? When was the last time you won something? Like just think about that. Embody that moment. Because I remembered very quickly as I was looking over my notes, I was like, oh, I got to start with this story. I was in Colorado teaching myself how to snowboard. No, not teaching myself. I had a tutor. But I was like, I want to start the new year doing something so random, so different, but most importantly, potentially starting with a fail. I have never snowboarded before. It is not easy, but I love that I allowed myself to try something new to start the year, because so often we only focus on doing things that are easy. So when is the last time you won something? For me, I love this game called Scattergories. Does anyone know the game Scattergories? Classic, classic. It is so good. Someone type it in the chat, and everyone get your life together. Go out and buy the board game, because it is better than Monopoly, better than chess and checkers. It is incredible. So I won a game of Scattergories with 4 of my friends when we were learning how to ski and snowboard in Colorado. And we did 8 games, and I won the best out of 8 games. And I won by about 4 points total. But oh my goodness, it was competitive. It was slightly toxic, but it was thrilling. There is something about winning that just pulls you into your best self. And let's be honest, the feeling of winning is up there with, can we be adults here? Are we adults? Just are we adults here? Because winning is up there with orgasms. Winning is the mental orgasm, okay? Let's be honest. So there are certain things I do to analyze, optimize, and catalyze my wins. I'll say that again. There are certain things that I do to help me analyze, optimize, and catalyze my wins. Now, I think of this quote by Mark Twain. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So what does that mean? If you want to change your life in any way, if you want to have a different year, you've just simply got to do something different. A lot of us just hope and wish our way into change when we've really got to work for it. Okay, so my journey of entrepreneurship, many of you know the story, started 20 years ago when I was 11 years old on career day. And I've had so many seasons of loss and failure and confusion, which is why I can speak with so much clarity and conviction today. My goodness, it is the experience and the failure that gives you the wisdom and the depth. I'll say that again. It is the experience and the failure that gives you the wisdom and the depth. The people I look up to most likely failed more than others. If you want to be respected, be willing to fail publicly. Fail out loud. Allow yourself to try and fail and try again. I've had seasons of my life in my entrepreneurial journey where I made no money, but I had a lot of time. And then there were seasons where I made great money, but I had no time. Now I'm in a season where I'm like, balance, balance, glow, balance. It is out there for you. So last year I took a step back and I took 4 months off to really figure out, how do I balance the two, money and time? And so every year, and you might hear that many people do this, a focus word or a word of the year or an intention for the year. My word of the year is freedom. I think freedom is at the root of all my joy and the catalyzer to an abundance mindset. Freedom is like my North Compass. It's my North Star. It's what I look at when I'm dictating my schedule and figuring out what I want to do with my life. And not just a word of the year, but I went even further. It was 11:45 p.m. I was in Colorado slopes. It was just a few minutes before midnight. And I was like, I need something deeper than just a word. Like, okay, yes, I want freedom in 2022, but something else, think, glow, think. And I'm with my friend. And I'm like, ask me questions, talk to me about my purpose, ask me things so that I just need to download thoughts. Ask me things. Like, okay, what are your goals? What do you want to do? How do you want to make people feel? And we're just yelling at each other. It was the most exciting and probably confusing conversation for a bystander. But what came out of that was the pursuit of possibility. The pursuit of possibility. I'd love for you all to write your words and phrases of the year in the chat and inspire the rest of the community. The pursuit of possibility. I want to show people what's possible by doing the otherwise impossible. Every time I take a step outside of my lane, every time I step outside of the box that people put me in, I love to show others what they can do too. It's not about me. Your life and your journey has nothing to do with you. You are a catalyst. You are a vessel. You are a mirror to your community to let them know what's possible for them. So the pursuit of possibility is all about mirroring the possibilities that others have in themselves. How many lives can I live? How many souls can I reach? How many lessons can I pass on? That's what's gonna really drive me forward. I'm going to shout some of you out. So Ray, you got delegate, Mark, intention, Nancy, appreciate, Raywin, Rain, sorry if I butchered your name, light, Ray is fun, Neha is focused, Nadia is peaceful, Faith is inspired, Jenny wants clarity, Beth wants to serve. This is amazing. I love this. And if you don't have your word yet, like just scroll through the chat and allow other people's intention to inspire you. Okay, beautiful.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.